Hello, hello, hello. How are you? I been advised to wait for a few minutes, but anyway, it's Fernando here with Per Coaching. This is Friday. We're closing the week, and the Facebook is giving me message turn automatically into a reel. Okay, I'm not into that right now. Thank you very much, Facebook. Thank you. So, how are you? How was your week? Okay. I hope that if you're looking at this later, that you have an amazing week. This is the safe space for us to connect, to communicate, and to talk about whatever we need to talk or the things that are important to us. And something that I found it very important in my life and also in my coaching is for the magic word, the magic power of forgiveness. How do you feel about forgiveness? So there is, a few minutes to see if anybody has the time. I know many of us have to work at that time. I decided to take a break at this time just to share thoughts, to create a safer space for us to communicate, and also to communicate my need of communication to be expressed live online. And the subject of the week is forgiveness, and it's connected, of course, to the reality of life. I having such a amazing success and using this amazing tool for the last 20 years. Thank, of course, to my spiritual teacher, Grandmaster Choi Sui. Thank you for your teachings. Thank you for helping us to understand spirituality, how things work, and when you have the desire to moving forward. So if that is your desire to move forward, it doesn't matter how stuck you are or how good you are. Having the desire of moving forward it means that we are alive. It's the right thing to do. Even though when you are in the best of your life and you have an amazing relationship, you still want to or keep it as amazing or keep moving forward. And then when you are in the other side, the same in work, the same in relationship, in your health, in your beliefs, in your personal growth. But also, this is not only working when we are in the top of your game. It's one of the most important tools that are gonna help you not only to improve when you are in a good place. Is to me was the most important tool that I realized. I've been told over and over, oh, I was in the process of divorcing the person that I married in love, fall in love, and is still in love, and so many things without blaming get me to you know to face that relationship was getting to an end, and it was so hard to accept it. It was so difficult and emotionally get me super down, having, not finding the what to do, how to solve the situation. And at the time I was already practicing pranic healing. I was not even arhatic yet, but I was practicing pranic healing and moving forward using the techniques, trying to heal myself, trying to heal my relationship with my wife, trying to be a better person, but I was completely stuck. I was completely stuck in the first addiction that I had was self-destructive thought forms, judgment. I have a lot of resentment, but I was not conscious about the resentment. I was not conscious about the frustration that I was having, and I couldn't believe that that was happening to me. I was born and raised in a Catholic family, and in the idea was you married a person to grow together, to find the best out of each other, to be prosperous, to have kids, and to stay with that person until the last day. Well, that was why my intention in my marriage, and thank God I have my role models, my mom and my dad. They did that. So since I have that, not only it was a good idea, I also have an amazing good example in my personal life, and the frustration was even bigger because I couldn't find what to do. And I was told over and over in pranic healing, you need to forgive your wife. You need to forgive, to do forgiveness. You need to practice forgiveness. And that is why I found out that, how important is, to practice forgiveness. So do you feel stuck in your life? Do you feel that there is something that you cannot solve? There is something, sometimes it's health issues. You're getting sicker, often, more than normal, more than what is used to. Well, that is a good place to do forgiveness. Or maybe your relationship is not moving forward and you're not able to find the answers that you need for that relationship. That is, I promise you, there is so many things that you can do. And there is so many things that we need, or a therapist, or a coach, or a good friend. And it's speaking your truth out is very important and it's very healing. But when you sit with yourself, and you realize that, okay, I feel lighter, but what do I do? I don't know if that happens to you, or even situations, something that you did that it came out wrong, or you didn't want an idea and it was not, and it didn't, after you finish doing something, you don't have in return or the happiness or the money or the love. So did that happen to you? Is your hands up with mine? Because all those little things that were happening, it helped me to build up my frustration, helped me to build up, my insecurities, not knowing what to do, not knowing what was best for me or for my family. And I keep hearing over and over, you need to do forgiveness. But why? I don't want to forgive her. I don't want to forgive this. I want it to be different. Okay, and I keep trying to make it my will, to be overpowering, the understanding, the compassion, the love that that situation needed to, to other people's, or to situations, or even to things that happen to you, things that you completely honest being a victim of. So, and that was so hard for me to understand. So then, what is forgiveness? What is forgiveness? Forgiveness is a process. Forgiveness is the magical universal ingredient that we need. And in that magical process, one of the first steps is to accept the reality, accept what is going on, accept that you are angry towards what happened to you, or to yourself, or to a family member. I'm this week, with my client, we were working. It's fascinating because certain things come from week, like everybody's having a line or a like issues, and there was a lot of hurt in my clients that was coming from family members for things that they did and they was not received in the way that they expected, or for actions from closer family members that it come and in the wrong way to the subject, to my clients, and they are completely stuck with that, and you cannot let it go. Did it happen to you? You cannot let it go. And a few of them told me, yeah, I did forgiveness. So great. How many times? Oh no, I just thought about that person, and I told them, or I called her and I said, I forgive you. But after the call, I still feeling like crap. Did it happen to you? That happened to me. The first step was resistance, full resistance to do forgiveness. And then the understanding, the second problem was understanding that forgiveness is no one thing. It's like you don't shower once a month or once a lifetime. No, you shower every day, and sometimes twice a day, or minimum a few times a week. Depend on your culture. Some people shower more, some people shower less, but everybody has to shower. It's like eating. You don't eat once a day unless you are in a specific diet, unless you are fasting. You need to eat. Well, in our culture in America, I'm from South America, but we still have breakfast, lunch, dinner, and so it's not a one thing. It's a process, like life. It's a process. It's something that we need to master. That process it need to be part of our daily practice. And understanding that was very hard to understand that that is a process. The process will have to become part of our strategies for life and our strategies for happiness. So, and how can we do it? How is that process? Okay, that process is first we need to accept the reality, as I said before. And accepting the reality is not only what happened, is what are the persons that are involved, what are the situations that is involved, and then understanding that it's not a one time. In Pranihila, Master Chogyam explain energetically why you do things based on multiple of seven, and that is for another day. But what is important to understand is that forgiveness, if you're going to do forgiveness, if you're going to really transcend above and beyond the pain, the suffering, the feeling stuck, you need to do the forgiveness minimum 7 to 21 times. And when you do that, you're going to realize that, oh my God, I have a huge transformation, not only in the thing or the person or the situation or the event that was carrying on with me. Because if we don't do forgiveness, what do? We become obsessed towards that person, or we become obsessed towards self. How many of you think that you need to do self forgiveness? Well, that was my story. I started doing forgiveness toward first to my wife at that time. That was my first my beginning of forgiveness, and that was in 2004. Okay, so you're gonna be it's 19 years of that. But doing the process of forgiveness with her, then I realized that I needed to do the process of forgiveness in the relationship that we create. And after doing the process of forgiveness in the relationship I create with her over and over and over with her and the relationship, then my understanding expand, my consciousness expand. And I understood at that time that I needed to do forgiveness with myself, with that person that I was at the beginning, through the process, 15 years married, having two kids, and then with all my part. And the more that I do, I realize that the connection of the problem that I was having and the same that we materialize what we have inside. So having that realization, I started using the forgiveness process all the way around, starting with myself. And every time that I feel stuck, and every time that I felt that I was not progressing, and let me tell you, when I divorced Henry, I was after that process I was starting with pranic healing and doing meditation and doing yoga and searching for my spiritual growth. I realized that I needed to forgive myself and doing the process of forgiving myself. It expand my understanding that well, all the fears that I was carrying on, all the insecurities that I have learning disabilities that I never accepted and never addressed, and that took many years to get to that point. And the process of forgiveness with that part of me that couldn't read, that couldn't write, that couldn't express properly, that I have a state fried, that I couldn't talk in front of more than three people, I get shy and I couldn't express myself or find the words or get nervous. With the process of forgiveness, I was able not only to accept that reality and I started going deeper with that part of me that was feeling like a failure, that it was resented, that feeling lesser, not loved, not important, and or broken. And that was magical because in the process of doing that, in the process of accepting those parts of myself and doing forgiveness with myself, the process I'm going over and over and doing it, I started opening my heart. My heart started opening more. My viewpoint of life started shifting and changing, and also my understanding of that was not a destination. That was a process. That was a situation that was in my life for me to resolve. And that was the beginning of the understanding that I have a huge dyslexia, that in order to feel good about myself, I needed to forgive myself for all the mistakes that I did, not only when I married, before in all the relationships that I was with. That I have to do forgiveness with the things that I felt damage or hurt from my family. Even though I have an amazing family, there is always in every relationship you have situations that overwhelm you and you feel hurt or left or left out or that you were not important for them. I was number six of seven, and I realized that many times I felt that that I was not even planned or loved. I don't know if that happens to you, and how much affect the result of our life, our abundance, our prosperity, our health, our relationship when you didn't feel that you were loved, and that was not true. I was loved, but the perception of being the six or seven, the last ones, that we were not planned or wanted or that perception, it was even more damaging that was true because it was not true. With the process of doing the process of forgiving myself for not being lovable enough, forgiving myself for not being smart enough, forgiving myself for not being short or tall enough, whatever judgment that we have to ourselves, if we start applying the process of forgiveness, your heart will open up, your understanding will grow, your awareness will grow, and your peace will grow too. So this is why I love to talk about forgiveness. The forgiveness is one of the tools that I use in every coaching, in every session, on every healing. Is involved. Forgiveness is part of it. And I'm telling you, the result that the people that I work with, even though if they are friends or clients or colleagues, the result that we are having is fascinating. Is speeding up to the process of understanding, speeding up the process of solving the blockages, finding it helps you to find new ways to address situations. You can find new ways. You can find new options. That loving heart, working together with your mind, and understanding that is the things are not happening against you. The things are happening for you. That understanding can right after practicing and practicing. Because everybody say, oh, you gotta let it go. Yeah, but if you go to sleep and you got ding, 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 thinking about that comes to you. The process of letting go, how you let it go. Say, how can I let it go? Well, forgiveness is one of those tools. Forgiveness is not only forgiveness to the situation, it's also forgiveness to self. And then you can take the forgiveness to the next level. And I want you to try this. First, if you don't have if you don't have a meditation on forgiveness, if you don't have a tool on forgiveness, there is many tools. The whole Ponopono in pranic healing. We have the forgiveness, or you can reach out to me and let me know. First, can you send me a meditation on forgiveness? Yes, I will say yes, of course. I'm happy to help you, happy to assist you. So you need to sit down in that process, accept the situation, and I start doing the forgiveness. When you are in a level of space or you are expanding into your new greatness in that authentic self that start kicking in, also you can do forgiveness for things that you want to have. And that is the part of the forgiveness that when you want to work on your prosperity, when you want to work on your wealth, that is not just money. The prosperity is not just money. It's allowing the universe to provide for you. When you start forgiving doing forgiveness to the things that you want to have is when you start removing your inner obstacles towards that desire. Even whatever area of your life it is, if you're gonna have a better body, you're gonna go to the gym and you start doing forgiveness towards that body, that state of being fit, you're gonna progress so much faster. If you have financial goals to achieve this month, this year, and you set up your goals and you use this tool towards that goal, and you forgive yourself for whatever is preventing you to have that goal as soon as fast as humanly possible, you're going to speed up the process because you are removing your inner blockages towards towards that situation, toward that goal. And it's such a magical thing. So I challenge you to try at least once a day. And I have many testimonials that I will share. I have testimonials of forgiveness with mothers. I have testimonials of forgiveness that we do in such a amazing, creative ways of athletes. I have a tennis player that he was even thinking about quitting. He was 700 ranked, and we started using not only addressing all the other emotions that are there, but one of the biggest things that he has been doing every single day is forgiveness towards his game, towards the opponent, towards his techniques. And after a month of working with me, he was able to switch that energy and start winning. He was losing for the last 5 months before starting to work with me every single game. He was getting depressed. He was going from 700 to 900, getting, instead of improving, going backwards. And he got to 1100 ranked at national level. Finally, after a month of practicing and addressing other stuff too, he has 3 weeks that is winning every single game that he's playing. That he's winning every single person that he used to lose. Now he's winning. And he's winning, and it's not that he's happy about the other losing. He can feel his authentic self stepping into the court. And he's so happy because he can be himself. Besides of the result, he's not a guy, uh, maybe beating in the long run, but it's not every goal that he gained. And he realized that he's not getting mad with himself. The same thing with another code, another situation with a MMA fighter. I have these few athletes, and the same thing. The same thing. He's being faster. He's being happier. He's showing up with better energy. Another situation, I have a beautiful mom, an executive mom, that she was having this amazing new relationship, something that she wanted, something that we were working on in the values and in the belief system, and finally, bam bam, attract the right person, and she doesn't know why she ended up with lower back pain. Did that happen to you? Do you have lower back pain? And talking to her, we realized that there was a part of her that it was so excited to materializing what she wanted, and the other part of her was triggered for all the past relationships. And in the process of that healing session or coaching session, we recognize the problem. We do the process of acceptance. We did the process of forgiveness in many ways, and he was able to stand up in the same session. And she came the day before she went to the chiropractor bed and come out of the chiropractor bed. She started the session in a bed. For first time, I said, "What happened?" And after going through the process, in less than 2 hours, she was able to stand up, stretch, and from that moment on, getting better and better. The back pain, it was released in a few days completely. She was able to move forward with her planned weekend and have an amazing romantic weekend. I'm feeling so empowered that is, telling everybody about these results. So I really want you to go to your weekend thinking about forgiveness. What are the persons that you would like to forgive? This person that are always triggering you any negative emotion, negative feelings. What are the situations that you need to forgive because that's it. That's enough. Okay, yes, I made a mistake, but it's enough. I want to get it out of my system. I wanna, I'm gonna learn all the lessons that are behind that trauma, behind that problem. And that is the other part that I love about forgiveness. When we do the forgiveness and we go deep into the person, a situation, an event of the past, a family member, where it does, there is so much wisdom waiting for us. And that wisdom is like absorb. We absorb it like a sponge, and we become so empowered after practicing forgiveness. So this is my invitation for you to consider forgiveness. If you need any support in forgiveness, any guidance, I suggest you to contact me. You can contact me through Facebook. You can DM me, and I will be super happy to give you a meditation on forgiveness, and or even invite you to my workshop on forgiveness. All right. So Alma Namaste, the divinity within me. Salute the divinity within you. I'm just reminding you that this is a place of magic. My spiritual avatar, I am Merlin, the magician of the soul. So if you need some magic, you know where to come, you know where to go. We're here creating a space for magic with fair coaching, reminding you that to succeed, you need to be intentional and you need to take action. Taking action is what makes you know, the real change, the real success. So, Atma Namaste. Have an amazing weekend. Bye, Fernando.